Okay, and we are live.
Okay.
So what's going on your end? How's business? How's the magazines? Um,
Well, we're doing okay. We are, of course, bucking headwinds with the economy these days,
yeah,
but
yeah,
and definitely, I'm trying right now to get as much going as I can on the web because, it's certainly in the brick and mortar stores. Um, the Borders bankruptcy, for example,
yeah,
we took a significant hit on that.
yeah,
So that's one of the reasons why it's important for me to get as many other things going as I can.
yeah,
Uh, what I'm interested in is this. On our main website,
yeah,
not the one we do with you, but atlantisrising.com,
yeah,
we have a store, a Miva store,
yeah,
and we can uh, do a lot of things there. And what I was really interested in doing was creating a membership offering,
yeah,
which would include a number of things, various price discounts. Part of one of the selling points would be that the value of the coupons or offerings in the story in the store would exceed the cost of the uh, membership. At any rate,
yeah.
the idea would be that in our store we would have a membership area,
Mm-hmm.
and then anybody in the membership area would have access to the premium content on our site with you.
Yeah.
And that would be we can set it up to manage the subscriptions, the start and stop times and so forth,
Yeah.
and create whatever is required for a coupon, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to know was, can we set that up so that then once a person is in the membership area, they then will be able to access the premium content on our website, and also people who are we tell them that there's a membership available, then they would simply link to the appropriate page in our store where they could sign up, and then uh, so everything would go through the store.
Right.
Whereas right now it does not.
Right.
But it shouldn't require anything fancy at your end other than just connections, I would think.
Yeah. It depends. I used Miva a long time ago, um, and was it's sort of a mid-road solution for e-commerce. I haven't used it recently. So I don't know what kind of hooks they have. We'd have to just take a look and see if they have any good hooks that we can hook into. Um, what do you use for fulfillment? Do you use something like AuthorizeNet or
Yes,
PayPal or
I use AuthorizeNet,
okay,
and we also have PayPal.
okay,
However, PayPal, we only use PayPal for uh, subscriptions.
yep,
Those are postal subscriptions.
ah,
Uh,
okay,
we have, but we do have soft goods available right now through our store, which primarily consists of PDFs of
yep,
the magazine
yep,
available for download,
right,
and that's all. Uh, that all works just fine.
yep,
And so all I wanted to, uh, I, I haven't finalized what we would do yet in the store because I know we're going to have to get a plug-in and we've been looking at two or three possibilities for that.
mm-hmm,
And my basic plan at this point, what I want to do is to create, as I said, a membership area in our store, and then from within that area, access
right, right,
it seems like all that you would need to do is simply require, you wouldn't accept access to the membership area except for those who are coming through the membership through our site there. Is that a big deal? Or?
Well, it might be, it might not be. It's tough to tell. We've combined several different technologies in the past. Some are easy, some are built to be hooked up together, and some were pretty much just didn't work.
Uh-huh.
It's anytime you get two different pieces of software together to make them talk is usually a challenge. Even software e-commerce that promises QuickBooks integration is usually problematic, even though it's designed to be integrated into QuickBooks.
Well, I don't know how any management requirements would be needed once we had set up the membership area where it was all being managed in the store side. And basically all I'm asking is that it be a portal.
Well, there's some shortcuts. There are options here. You can basically create a store with Miva, a membership purchase, and then maybe it gives you access globally to the magazine site, but then you lose that nice Google traffic that you naturally get and have been getting to the site. The thing about
I'm only talking about the premium content
right
for the membership. The general public access would remain the same. Right now we have it, so we have right now people are signing up for a membership at no charge.
Right.
Through the site, and that all we ask from them is their email address.
Right. How's that going, by the way?
I haven't been watching it this closely. I understand we've got about 3,500 members.
Okay.
Which is they're a very special group of people.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at some other things to increase traffic to all of our sites.
Right.
And I just want, though, to create this this membership offering.
Right.
If you will check on our if you go to our site again,
yep.
Click on the store, and then you'll see just in the upper left, click on that banner in the upper left-hand corner.
Yep.
You'll notice that along the left I have several areas, and one of them, if you look at this product spotlight,
yep.
The idea is that now we can put stuff into the product spotlight area that may be duplicated somewhere else.
Yep.
But this is where I would, make an offer, and then if they went to it, and they would give them a coupon or a number or something like that. However, if we have a membership area,
mm-hmm.
no one can get in, and this could be controlled at this end, and nobody can get into our membership area unless they're a member. But once they're in the membership area, anybody in the membership area, I'd like to have them be able to just go to the premium content.
Sure. Yeah. Let me suggest to you something as well, only because it's just about built into what you already have. In order to, when we created this premium function for you to be able to read premium stories, we used a piece of software called S2Member. There is a pro version of that called S2Member Pro, which handles the subscription side, and it will integrate with Authorize.net. It would also integrate with PayPal, so you can decide how you would be able to execute it, and then it'd be ready to go. And somebody, the only difference is instead of paying on your main site, they'd be paying on the magazine site. But it's the same e-commerce channel, and a lot of the work is already done to be able to trigger that. So it's another option for you.
Okay. Would my idea for the membership, of course, is to be able to offer not only the premium content on our site,
Yeah.
but other things as well, coupons, etc. Are those part of what that offers?
Yeah, S2 Member Pro supports unlimited coupons, so um, you
Hmm.
could, and that, but it again, it's focused on subscribers. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to promote new subscribership, then that would work for that. Um,
Uh, can you send me um, some material on that software that I
sure.
can review
Yep.
and look at the features
Yep.
and try to figure out whether we could. I don't want, you know, I'm a little bit wary of having too many pay portals. I like
Yeah.
right now someone can go to our store, they can buy a subscription, they could buy a couple books, they
Yep.
could download a couple PDFs,
Right.
uh, and it's all one, and it can be in one transaction. Also, we can keep they can be have accounts, essentially sales accounts, or where they can buy and sell from us,
Right.
and we can track and maintain.
Right.
And it would be really nice. I would really like to be able to provide the membership within that functionality, and then include within it the the premium content
Right. Right.
as one of the things available.
Right. Well,
Though I understand, that I can see the pros and cons of coming at it on the other end there.
you know, the other thing to keep in mind is, you have a magazine with a lot of content on it, and there are a lot of opportunities as well. You can create one member level for premium content. You could create a second member level for a different level of content. You can add, if you wanted to, set up some private forums for your tribe or your crowd to communicate for members only. You can do that, and that's all run through the site itself. And because there's an inherent complexity in membership and community within a magazine, you really want the controls to all work on the same platform, or you just run into time and trouble. Um, and so, as far as if it were me, in the future, as web publications become more and more important, you'll want to have the flexibility and the control uh, 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 that's available to you. And the existing shopping cart that you have, it's uh, from what I know of Miva and most shopping carts, and I've reviewed dozens of them, and I still do. Most of them are great for products, digital products, downloading PDFs, great. Buying physical products, great. Membership sites, there's one plugin for WordPress, the only one I know of that handles both e-commerce and membership. So it's kind of a this is sort of the leading edge, side of content, selling content and selling membership, public for a publication. And at this point, the fastest, easiest thing for us to do is turn on S2 Member Pro. I mean, you already have S2 Member installed. You already have membership information on the site. If you need to get them to pay, then we get them to pay, and then they have access to the content. And I'll just make a suggestion while I'm rambling, if you don't mind. Um, what I would recommend, you're giving all your content, your archive content away for free. I would suggest, well, why don't you tease some of it, but put most of it behind a paywall, and really motivate people to subscribe to it online.
Well, that's what we're doing. We have right now. We haven't totally worked our way through all of the issues that
Oh,
we
I
have
see.
posted.
Okay,
But right now we're offering, in most cases, there's the 4 feature articles are available to the public.
gotcha.
That means, but additional articles are, are premium content.
Okay,
And at present, they just log in,
yeah,
and then we can we only require that they register an email address with us.
right, gotcha,
Uh,
gotcha.
but I'd like to that's where the status I'd like to change that to is start charging for that.
Yeah. So yeah, you're already in the process of collecting all that nice user information. It's already in the database. It's really a matter of turning on the payment gateway and upgrading to S2 Member Pro.
Oh,
Yeah.
what would it cost to?
I got to check with Lou on that. Who's our lead on issue manager, and I can give you a better idea of what it would cost. Off the top of my head, we're not doing anything new here, so shouldn't be too big a headache. And it gives you couponing, and it gives you lots of flexibility down the road if you want to really engage the community side of your membership, or at different levels. You might have you might decide that you want 2 levels. One where you get the magazine, you get everything, and one where you get just some things, some of the content.
Right. I want to keep it simple at first, but I'd like to have the functionality there available so that if later on we decide to modify it, we can do that. Of course, I don't want to, at this stage, simplicity that means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What now?
I hear you.
The coupons could be set up so that they would be redeemable in our store, right?
The transaction would happen on your magazine site, and when someone's subscribing on the magazine, they can drop in their coupon code and get their discount right there and then. And the information you're already capturing through S2 Member is that it remains the same, except that now there's going to be a payment attached to that member instead of just a premium membership.
Okay.
And then we'll hook it up to your existing authorized net or PayPal accounts.
And it wouldn't require a lot of programming to set that up as just to have it where they could then click on they want to do it, then they submit their payment, and we can sell it elsewhere. We can promote it.
Yes.
We can tell people what they're getting and link to it.
Yes, exactly. So, have you seen Front and Finish?
No.
Okay, so this is a magazine that's running S2 Member Pro. This will make your day, by the way. I hope anyway. In January we launched them, and they actually stopped printing their magazine. And Bob, the publisher, told me that in his first month in January he actually gained subscribers. He lost a bunch, but he gained more online than he lost offline. So it was a pretty happy story. Now I'm logged in. So I'm gonna log. So I think that, in my very biased opinion, online publishing is the future, and people are absolutely willing to pay for online subscriptions.
Well, we're doing a bunch of stuff now. I mean, we have an iPad app.
Yeah, I downloaded it. Yep.
And we're publishing on the Kindle.
Yep.
And we've got we'll be putting up a lot more stuff on the Kindle. It was helpful, by the way, that we had done all this conversion of the magazine into text.
Right.
For what we did with you, which which then we've been able to utilize to create text versions of the magazine for sale on Kindle.
Right. Right.
And then we'll do other combinations of that. We'll create books which will be collections of particular articles on a particular subject.
Right. Right.
That then we'll publish on the Kindle, and we'll be getting into the iBookstore soon. We just got an Android app out, which is basically the same as the iPad app.
Yeah.
And we've got other stuff we want to do, and I would like to. So we're trying to. I haven't been able to stir up a lot of traffic yet.
Yeah.
I have some. Hopefully, I've got something going on that'll help on this. But that's I'll be quiet about that because I'm not sure what's going to happen on that.
Well,
I am pursuing it.
That's great. Another piece of good news is that once you control the subscribership of the magazine, for instance, I prefer looking at your magazine on my iPad rather than I downloaded your app and I couldn't. I didn't really like it. I mean, to be honest with you, but that's okay because
It was a Russian outfit.
Yeah, you know,
The price was right.
yeah, I'm sure it was. But I like, for me, I prefer the web-based approach on the iPad. It looks beautiful. It zooms in very nicely. It works, and with the S2 Member Pro solution, you'll be able to still have people subscribe and be able to read on an iPad, and you'll have to be logged in on your iPad to read the stories. So you won't actually need an app, and still,
Well,
you know. So there are
we
a lot of
presently have. The thing is, someone can download the PDF
mhm.
on the iPad using, I mean, Goodreader is a very good program for that. It works very well with
Yeah.
that, and we recommend it to people. We've got it
Yeah.
up on your site. One of the main reasons for the iPad,
Yeah.
of course, is that access to the Apple Store.
Yeah.
The app, it makes an impulse purchase
Yeah.
it's not complicated for people. You don't have to run them through another
Yeah.
pay portal, which is what actually, that's what we're talking about in a way. We're talking about simplifying the service to people that makes it attractive to people, and they can just click in a couple things, and
Right.
we consolidate all that without having it confusing them, as we're confusing enough as it is, just because we have so much stuff up there.
Right. Right.
Very, very few people tune into everything we've got going on.
Right. Right. Well, anyway, I think you'll do well with it. I know people will pay for your magazine online, and you have a head start. You got a good, decent group of premium folks so far. A percentage of them will probably pay, and
Yeah.
off
Well,
you.
now I visual in what the type of subscription I would see would be for a time period,
Mm-hmm.
1 year or 2 years. Now this will manage the letting them know when their time is up, and reminding them to renew, etc., or giving them an automatic renewal
Yeah.
thing they can check.
It's a good question. Let me just tell you a little story. So with Front and Finish, we went through this manual, this 1 year subscription, renew, expire, renew, and then we actually just converted to an ongoing renewal subscription, which stopped a lot of headaches for them. So in other words, somebody subscribes, they're subscribing for the year, but in PayPal, it's a renewal, right? So they can cancel at any time. That's fine, and it will automatically talk to S2 Member Pro, and once their renewal date is gone, it blocks them, right? But for you as a publisher, you just have a recurring income coming in every year from a subscriber until they decide to cancel the subscription.
Well, here's another dimension of this. We, of course, sell subscriptions through the mail, to the printed magazine.
Right.
And that, of course, a lot of what they can do if they go to our store or anywhere else is they can subscribe to the magazine.
Yep.
They can buy a subscription, and they'll be mailed the magazine for either 6 or 12 issues.
Yep.
And that's well established and a major part of our income.
Yep.
What I'm talking about here, which I want to make separate, though I could have various ways of interrelating them,
Yep.
is an online membership. In fact, I want to call it a membership rather than a subscription, because
right.
And it's tied to a time period, and the number of things that they receive as part of the membership would be unique to the web, not and nothing, and it wouldn't really overlap into the area, though we might eventually have cross promotions between them.
Right.
But I don't want to do anything that will undermine what we're doing right now as for a subscription sale. I want to, and I don't think it should, but there's a special set of privileges that we're in a position to provide now online.
Right.
That I think that would be worth people ought to pay for them, and we can then promote it through the magazine and elsewhere.
That sounds good. When somebody buys a print subscription, are you giving them online access?
Well, We were, but we stopped. We used to, for a while, we were selling PDF subscriptions,
Right.
but we found that we found it a challenge and difficult to manage. And so right now, we're only selling single copy PDF downloads.
Okay.
And we're not right now. We stopped providing any access to the PDF content by virtue of there being a subscriber to the printed magazine.
Right.
However, I would, if we did this deal that I'm talking about with you, if we set up a membership deal,
Yep.
then I create an overlap in them where we could somehow or other, give a as a premium for buying the
Right.
paid subscription.
Right.
They would also get a membership, an online membership.
Yep.
And other things like that.
Okay. So you do, just as for your information, you do have the option to add a member manually and set an expiration date. That's
Okay.
that's
That you can
built in. Yep. Yep.
Okay. And then basically, as far as servicing, it will provide a coupon of some kind, and then the servicing of that. Well, as far as managing it our main side is concerned, it's simply a matter of letting them in, or not letting them in.
Yep. Let me show you the back end a little bit. You can get a feel for it.
Okay.
I'm going to log in here. I'm going to try not to blow anything up for these guys. But here's the S2 member module here.
Yeah.
And we have the PayPal configuration that gets done. That's fine. Let's go to Browse Members here. And then what we have is we have a list of the usernames of the members when they sign up, their names, their email address, what level they are, and then we have the expiration dates over here. So you can search users by keyword, and you can certainly delete, and you can take anybody and make them an author if you wanted to. But the information's here, and anytime you see a paid subscriber ID like this up top, that's the PayPal key that ties them to their PayPal subscription.
Okay.
Yep.
And show me what it looks like when they're actually signing up.
Sure. Okay. So
the when they say they are interested in.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log out here. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna go read. I want to go read Ohio Valley Outlook. And so the way it works is you can give them a teaser, right?
Right.
And that's good. We have some commenting on here. But if we want to subscribe, then we have to go through the subscription process. So I'm going to click the subscriber link. We get some sales copy to subscribe. And then we have our information. So we've got a coupon. Great. First name, last name, email address. Pick a username. Choose your billing method. And then check out.
Okay.
So,
and then they go to the standard interface there for authorize or for PayPal.
Yeah. PayPal does a nice job with recurring subscriptions. I don't know if this username is and by the way. So now that forces me to log into my PayPal. Now, by the way, the way this is set up too is, and I forget on your site if we have this, but we can automate it so that when you publish a new issue, that all your subscribers get an email.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not sure if I forget if we're doing that right now with you or not.
Could I add the PDF, say, I'm sure I can, but I mean, the question is how difficult is it, or how can I get from here to there without going broke? Uh,
Yeah.
Ideally, it would be nice if if I could give them I guess a coupon would work to enable them to download the PDF of the new issue just by virtue of being a member.
Oh, I see. So with the system is we would allow you to put up a PDF, and that however that PDF is restricted to being logged in. So you have to be a member. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Well, at least through this, to work through this offer.
yes,
Yeah, they'd have to be a member.
yes, yep. You'd have to be a member. And
Uh,
yep, you can
well,
deliver.
I just go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add that you can really deliver anything that you want. You want to deliver PDFs. You want to deliver a video, um, photos. You can really deliver anything through it because all you have to do is create a new post for a particular issue and then add whatever you want to add to it. And and what we're doing with let me just log in real quick and show you the way it works. Just going to go pick an existing post here. Is you choose, let's say level 1 is your main subscriber. Well, as soon as you choose requires level 1, then that's for members only. And whatever you put into the into here, only an excerpt shows up.
Okay, so this is like where before we could choose whether something was premium content.
Right.
In this case, we just have more options.
Exactly. Yep.
In terms of how it's provided or what we offer.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. So you could do freemium. You could continue with freemium and say, look, as a freemium subscriber, we'll let you read X number of articles a month. However, if you become a paid member, then you'll have access to to all issues, to the entire magazine, and whatever else you want to provide to them. So we can preserve that current level that you have if you want to work with it.
Okay. Well, if you could send me the something I can read on the software that you're
Sure.
talking about, and let me know what it would cost to be able to implement this program. That would be the first step, and then we'll see. I may not. I've got a number of balls in the air right now, so I don't know how quickly I'll respond on this, but it's definitely one of the things that I can see as part of what we need to be doing.
Yeah, this works really well, and I think you'll if you want a slick interface to subscribe to your magazine online and be able to read issues online, it works. Just flat out works.
Does this work in if someone is using a mobile device?
Yeah.
So the same interface, so they can go to our site as they can now. But I mean, and the various features we're talking about are available on the
mobile device. It's the same. I mean, WordPress,
including downloading a PDF.
Yeah, WordPress by default, which is the platform we use, is very, very friendly on mobile devices. So you can read on any phone, iPad, etc. And yes, you need to be logged in as a paying member if you try to read something that's for members only. So that's taken care of.
What would be nice if there were some kind of a reader that were part of the interface that we're creating. That would essentially do the same thing as the iPad app. Of course, the iPad app is for total, people who don't have any other association with us, and the iPad app will get them into the magazine.
Let me get this clear. So when I'm on my iPhone, I go to your magazine, and it auto formats and looks like an iPhone app, and then you can read the stories. Is that what you're?
Well, I meant that PDFs are, being able to the PDFs are different from the text content that we're providing
Right.
on our site with you.
Right.
But we're recommending to people and trying to get them to, use a reader or what have you, to then be able to, and telling them that if they'll then download the PDFs,
Right.
they have an excellent way to read the magazine
I see.
online.
Right.
But of course, it's a complicated process for people. They have to acquire another piece of software, a reader,
Okay.
that enables them to be able to look at the PDFs. What it would be nice, and one of the things that I've gone over this. In fact, I talked to Jean's husband
Yeah.
about
Neil.
the possibility of doing this.
Yeah.
And all the options that were available for creating just an app, which is what we're really talking about.
Right.
It'd be nice if there was a simpler way that didn't really require an app, and then you could bring in a PDF and you could look at it.
Right.
And you would stay in whatever program you were in.
Right. How about this? Can you see my screen? You see the iPhone on there? So this is something we did for one of our clients, or I should say doing. This is what we call a web-based app. So in other words, it doesn't require any software download like you mentioned. You arrive at the site and it just auto formats for both iPhones and Androids. And
well, can you then look at a PDF?
You can look at anything. Yeah, you can read a straight text article, one of your stories. You can download a PDF. Whatever you want it. It's totally customizable. And one of my I love apps. By the way, I definitely have purchased my share of apps, and there's some really great uses for iPad and iPhone apps. But for general reading, news, magazines, what I strongly believe is you want your stories to be available on all devices without having to download any additional software, because it's just a barrier for the reader.
Right.
And what this software does for the iPhone and for the Android and even iPad device is auto format your magazine website to look clean and readable. Now we have, just to be clear, we have not built this for a magazine yet, but we've been slowly crunching through and looking for the best solution for it. And we think we found one, but we haven't quite built it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, there's a lot of challenges to delivering a magazine, making it convenient and easy to do. I mean, the PDFs work great.
Yep.
And if you have a reader, no problem.
Yep.
A lot of the people that provide other ways of delivering PDF content, essentially that's what's happening on our app.
Right.
There are other people, like, for example, You.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with them. You can upload a PDF to them, and you can then view the PDF online. It works fairly well, and it's pretty good for. It doesn't work for a mobile device, but it does work pretty well with a laptop and so forth. But again, to do an iPad app that will deliver PDF content and make everything easy for people and make it real simple to get where you want to get for people who are not geeks.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a simple solution for everything, and we're doing everything we can right now through what is available. But
right.
I'd like to be able to skip some of those steps, or I'd like to be able to integrate some of them more effectively.
Right. Well,
without costing too much, because everything that I look at in regard to that, all the solutions that I've seen available are very expensive.
Right.
Expensive for me. That's why I went with that Russian Quasar team.
Right.
Is because they gave me a deal that I could afford.
Right. Right. Well, let me just sort of refresh your memory. That your biggest source of new readership right now that doesn't cost you much is Google search. So each story that you publish online is really a magnet for a specific search.
We have not been getting much from Google. I mean, nothing that nothing like what I was hoping to get.
Hang
And
on, let's take a
we're not showing up in the search engines as far as I know. I don't know.
here.
Um, it's
We'll take a look at the hard data, and the data will tell us what. Let's see here. That's not it. And all right, where are you? Not here. I don't think it's here. Oh, it is here. Okay. Okay, so last 30 days you've had 3,700 visits, 9,000 page views, 2.39 pages per visit. We look at traffic sources, which is what we're talking about. Where are people coming from? We're 14% know about you. They're either bookmarked you or they go directly to atlantisrisingmagazine.com. You have other websites that are pointing traffic directly towards your magazine. Those are called referring sites, and then almost 60% are search engines. So if we look at so Google is your friend here. Let's look at the keywords. Okay, let's bump this list up a little bit. So what we have here, out of the 2,200 visits, you'll see that the keywords that people use to get to your magazine is enormous. I mean, it is. People are Googling, Tesla speed of light, deathbed visitations, Hall of Records, Atlantis. People, of course, we are humans. We all search differently, and look at this one.
Could you send me over a link to this page?
Sure. Do you have a Gmail account? I can give you a login to it.
Yeah, I do have. It's just Atlantis Rising Magazine at gmail.com.
Yep. Atlantis Rising Magazine at Gmail. Okay, so I'll send you a link, and then you can look at the stats. So you're getting quite a fair amount of Google traffic into the site, which is, I think, the promise we made initially to you, and that's one of the major reasons we build magazines the way we do, because people are searching for stuff, and you might as well give it to them, right?
Right. I'm told that if you do a search on any of these things, we're not. What are we showing up at the top of the search or many pages down? Can you tell?
I without running a reports, I couldn't really tell you. But what I can tell you is these are people that landed on your website from search, and these are the actual keywords that they typed in. Into mostly Google. Now look what's interesting. Pages per visit. This is a really interesting number. In other words, how sticky is it a good match between a search and your magazine? And if you look at, deathbed visitations, they're looking at one page, they're reading one story, and then they're going away. However, if we look at Ancient Aliens magazine, they've looked at almost 9 of your pages. There's a really good potential subscriber right there, I'd say. There's, 7 of them there in the last 30 days. Same goes with alternative archaeology. They're cruising around on it for 9 people on average of 4 or 5 pages per visit. I don't know what Rishi Singh grew.
I don't know what that is either. I don't know. I haven't got a clue what that is. We haven't. I am not aware of any use of that in our publication.
Interesting. Well, they found
everything else I recognize, but not that.
It's interesting. It's so unusual. There's got to be a reference to it somewhere on some page.
Maybe so.
Let's just have some fun here. I'm gonna pull Firefox up here and do it. We'll just do a quick search here. Okay, look at that. So Rishi Singh Gruel, you're number 2, and it's a 2009 article.
Age of us say, yeah, I know the article.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
It's basically just about the longevity.
Oh, gotcha.
And and the spiritual
Interesting.
The various those who have achieved remarkable longevity through spiritual practices of one sort or another, and
Ah,
where there's some evidence, for that.
gotcha. Gotcha. Interesting.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, that it could be very well be in there. I don't know. I don't remember everything in the article, but I could there might be something in there.
Right. So anyway, the what you're writing about is what people are looking for, and
Yeah.
you want to make sure that
What?
even when you go paid subscription, you still want to tease out your articles so that Google has some keywords to latch onto.
So Google is the search engines are connecting with us. Any way to
Yeah.
stimulate that process
Oh,
from your end? That
absolutely, sure. So I'll give you a simple. Let me bring up. I'll show you rather than tell you. Okay. I'm going to do a search for New London landscaper. This is kind of a simple example, but we have a client who's located in Sunapee, New Hampshire. He serves the town of New London, New Hampshire, and he wants business there. Well, if I Google New London landscaping, I get some results. The number one is here. The number two is our client. And if I click into the link, what I don't get his homepage. I get a story that he wrote. It's a news story that was written by Jackie on May 16th, 2011. And it happens to be about a project he did in New London. And if you notice, the title of this story is New London Landscaping. Google looks at every story that you write. It looks at the title as very, very important keywords. And then it looks through the rest of the text and determines, well, what are the keywords really, what is this article really about? And the title is the most important factor. So one of the things that I always recommend with clients is when you're writing a story, publishing it's tough because, you're writing a title that's sort of emotionally captivating, but sometimes it's not very Google friendly. You know what I mean? So
mm-hmm.
in this case, this is very, I'm looking for landscaping services in New London. I type in New London landscaping. I find this article. It's pretty straightforward. You as a publisher, it's a little different. You have, let's just go to your main issue. Let's see if we can pick on one of your titles. Okay. You're people that are searching for magazines like yours are probably looking for using keywords like um, UFO magazines. They're searching for um, or blogs, or they're looking for sort of the high level keywords, right? They're looking for some of those, and the content, the titles of your stories don't really match that. But they do match, of course. If I'm interested in Atlantis in Spain, then that article probably has a good shot of popping for me. So that's a good search, and I'm searching for something specifically. But if I'm looking for extraterrestrial
Well,
blogs.
the UFO thing is something we don't do. I try to contrast ourselves with
Yeah.
that. We do it a little bit, but I mean, ancient mysteries would be something
Right.
that would be
Okay.
more in line with us.
Okay. So thanks for rescuing me. Okay. So ancient mysteries. So if you wrote a title instead of it being Atlantis in Spain, but yet the title, and I'm just using this as an example, but the title was Ancient Mysteries, Atlantis in Spain, then Google would look at that story and say, hey, this article is about ancient mysteries. So when somebody looks for ancient mysteries, that article has a shot of being found. And of course, you need the keywords in the article to also be saying ancient mysteries here and there in the article.
Yeah,
And
but I understand, I think, what you're saying, but as a practical matter, because our primary publication is, is what it is, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
which we're selling, in the stores based upon what sells in the stores.
yeah,
And we do, we've done this for a while, and, we have a sense of
yeah,
what works in that regard.
yep,
As far as adapting it to the search engine, make it particularly search engine friendly,
yep.
I don't know. There's
Well,
limits to what we can do.
it's not an easy solution. The New York Times has started training staffers to write a little more Google friendly. And it's an art form. It truly is an art form because you have to please the humans. You have your story. It's Atlantis in Spain, but you want to please Google as well, so that story gets found for a specific search word. And you know, it's the kind of thing where if it were me, I might dribble it in here and there. But you certainly don't want to go spamming your keywords all over the place. But um, there is some value to knowing what your keywords are, which requires a little research, and B, to check on search volume, and B,
Well, we put a lot of time, as you know, we put a lot of time into identifying tags
mm-hmm,
within our stories,
yep,
and then that's we get and we also classify stories as in the categories that we've tried to pick in the list of categories there and on the
yep,
right.
yes,
Of course, some of that is specific with relating to specific features
yep,
that occur on a regular basis. Some of it, though, is pretty much as you can see, is breaks it out by
right,
in a general category.
yep, yep. Categories
Now, does
helps, and tags also help. So you have your tag cloud down here. They all absolutely help. Google will sometimes serve up tag categories because it knows it has a series of articles that match a particular tag. Um,
mm-hmm.
you know, but again, it's sort of the classic. You have 700 or so stories on online so far and growing. Each story talks about a slightly different thing. So, in Google's job is to find, what's the common thread through all the stories to figure out what the magazine is about. And you have a lot, as far as ancient mysteries goes, there's obviously a lot of different types of stories that fall under that category. And so what's happening is Google is sending you traffic for people that are interested in very specialized things, very specific things, and that's Google's job. Um, if you wanted to get found for ancient mysteries, then to give you a simple example, the way to do it is to publish a website called ancientmysteries.com, and all you do is talk about ancient mysteries, and every 76th word is ancient mysteries in the copy, and that's all you talk about is ancient mysteries, and you become, and it's a kind of um, um, approach it's not very real, right? It's not going to happen. Um,
Yeah.
so, uh, and but that's just the way it is. That's the way Google looks at a website. It looks for themes. What's the recurring theme? Um, we can. There are other things that you can do is what we call link building. It's external link building. The more links that point at your website, the more votes. Google sees every link incoming inbound to a website, and if the New York Times were to link to your site or a page in your site, Google would see it and say, "Wow, here's a very credible website linking to Atlantis Rising magazine. We're going to bump up that article and the site in general because it's another link." And the names in the link, if there's a lot of people that are linking to you with the keyword ancient mysteries, if that's your keyword, you will start to rank better for ancient mysteries. Um,
Yeah.
so there's some options there. I think right now you have traffic, you have search. I think what I would do, limited budget, you know, turn the subscribership on and rearrange some things on here so it screams subscribe to our online magazine and um, and start taking orders.
Well, um, Yeah, well, I'll send me some stuff that I can look at, and
Yeah, I will.
We'll I'll be investigating it.
Yep, and
And
I'm going to get in touch with Lou and get an estimate on hours for hooking up S2 Member Pro,
mhm.
and
Okay.
um, we can go from there.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Good. Let's do that then, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Thanks, Doug.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
Talk to you. Yep. Bye.
Yeah.